Hey, thanks for coming tonight. It's good to see you. Grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair. I've got a story to tell you. Cheers, mate. Here we go. Welcome to Ton's Kitchen After Hours. Season 3, The Misadventures of Jimmy Head. Bit 3, Rehab Daymare. Part 3, The Daily Grind. Next morning started with a wake-up shouted by the trusted inmates at 5:30. The night before, after the chew-out sessions had finished, we had counselling sessions until around 11:30 and then bedtime. So we only had around 6 hours of sleep a night. Rise and shine, time to exercise. We all gathered out front near the angel statue to do some stretching and calisthenics. A pair of older guys were checking me out, and one of them called out, "Oi, are you Saddlebags' younger brother?" And I just nodded. He said, "We're getting the fuck out of here. You want to come with us?" And the thought of being raped at the boys' home came rushing back to my brain, and I just shook my head. He said, "Oh well, suit yourself," and off they went. One of the trusted inmates made a feeble attempt to call them back, but he yelled back, "Stop us if you can, fuckwit." I later regretted not going with them. From then on, every day was pretty much the same. Calisthenics, stale cornflakes with barely enough milk to wet them, non-stop work details till lunchtime, small lamb chops with frozen veggies for lunch, more work, and the same shit for dinner. A few days into my incarceration, I was given a new work detail: killing of the lambs. About 4 of us were told to catch some lambs, and I was just standing there watching as the boys chased them down. There was this one guy, skinny as a rake, freckles and light brown hair. He chased them enthusiastically, grinning from ear to ear. He never caught them, but he enjoyed the chase. When a boy caught one, we were taken into a makeshift slaughterhouse, which was made of tarps on a frame. It was full of blowflies. A trusted inmate showed us how to slit the sheep's throat, and then he hung it upside down for the blood to drain out. The next day's lunch had an extra protein: maggots. All the time I was there, I never saw my niece Melissa or my brother-in-law. Melissa was a big girl who had more life experiences than most girls her age. She was in the same group of inmates as the crazy woman I saw at my induction. They were kept segregated from the rest of us at an impound somewhere else on the sprawling property. The guy that ran the place never spoke to the general inmates. The only time I saw him was when he was driving his shiny Jaguar to his private residence. Rumour had it that he had a group of the prettiest inmates as his lovers. At night in the dorm, I was so exhausted that the only thing on my mind was sleep. Several of the other boys would bat off before sleeping. I guess they did it to relieve stress. Sure as hell, nothing in that place would make anyone horny. The sound of them wanking was disgusting, so I'd fall asleep every night with a pillow over my head. One morning, the skinny grinning guy had an epileptic fit. I knew what it was because I'd seen someone have one at the chemist where I worked at. That time scared the shit out of me, and I ran to the post office and asked them to call for an ambulance. Stupid thing to do considering there was a phone at the chemist. When I returned, she was still on the floor, But the seizure had stopped. Nobody touched her. They just made sure she didn't crash into anything. And when she got up, her main concern was embarrassment. So seeing how the boys treated the skinny guy was horrific. The handler in our dorm always carried a tablespoon in his back pocket, and when the seizures started, he'd jump on top of him, pry open his mouth, and shove the spoon in to stop him from swallowing his tongue. Then he'd start hitting him in the back. I don't know what the purpose of that was. Maybe some more stress relief. None of these tactics was used at the chemist, so I guess he had no idea what the fuck he was doing. More than likely, he was given a crash course on how to manage an epileptic fit by the staff. The seizures were almost on a daily basis, and the punches were getting harder. Poor bastard, I never saw him grin again. All right, that's it for tonight in Ton's Kitchen After Hours. Thanks for dropping by and keeping me company. If you want to hear more stories from my weird old past, make sure to follow the podcast and come back for the next episode. I'll leave the light on for you. Until then, take care and good night.